Our spelling bee. Isn't it great that what we've been through the last couple of years, that we're finally getting back to normal in some areas? These are some of the most awesome things that we can do as a school, and Lawton Public Schools is glad to have you here. One thing I'll tell the students is, you may not win today, but one thing most everyone does is they remember the word that they didn't win. Mine was my second grade spelling bee, believe. I still get those I's and E's mixed up today. But thank goodness for word processors and spell check. It's not as hard on me. But I commend all of you for being great spellers, because every one of you accomplished something to get here today. And so congratulations for being here. And thank you for our judges for donating their time to help us. Great shout out to Miss Regan Hall-Owsley for all the time and effort she's put into this, and the weather even got her for a day, but she's rescheduled. And again, I would like to welcome all of you being here, and I'm excited to watch this, and a big shout out to everybody for taking their time and effort to be a part of this. I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Jones.
Good morning, everyone. Just before I begin, I will forget this. Would you please, let's take a moment, let's take about 30 seconds to silence our phones at this time. Again, of course, you can take pictures and all those type of things, but as far as the ringers, and I guess you have students, that goes for you as well, please silence our phones. I am Gerald Jones, principal of Central Middle School. Welcome to the facility. We always enjoy hosting events. It's especially for things where we can show off our students. And I just want to just say this, and I'm not being dramatic. Well, yes, I am. Do you guys smell that? Let's take a smell. Do you guys smell that? You don't? Do you hear it? Do you hear it? Do you feel it? Smells like education. It smells like education. It smells like learning, and it smells like fun, all wrapped up into one. I was explaining earlier that this reminds me of when I went to Whittier Elementary when I was a young lad. And this feeling is just a feeling that I felt every day I walked in that building with Miss Gwen Cox as my principal. I just remember that from kindergarten all the way up to the 6th grade. That was just a feeling. I need to go to Whittier and check them out. That's how I feel. It feels good. What I want to express to the students is, regardless of the outcome, the journey that you're going to experience on March 1st, 2022, this is a memory. And you are going to look back on this, and regardless, because you're going to meet 20, 30 other people, cherish this moment. Cherish those butterflies that you have right now. Students, go ahead, let's wiggle it out for me real quick. Wiggle it out for me real quick. There you go. I know you're feeling it because I feel it right now. And so with that being said, our phones are off. We've done our welcome. The next thing to do is to get started. So with that, I want to introduce our judges. This morning we have Mr. Larry Bush. We have Miss Mary Ann Hankins. Miss Relisha Stanley, almost slipped up, and Mrs. Charlotte Oates. We want to thank you for taking the time out of your day to join us. Parents, we appreciate you coming and joining us. Teachers, we appreciate you taking the time out to get your students ready for this program. Again, thank you.
Okay, good morning. So my part is to read the rules, and I will preface this with they're long, so please be patient as I read through the multiple pages of the rules. It's the official way we have to do this. The 2022 rules for our spelling bee. The Scripps National Spelling Bee, which we're going to substitute SNSB, encourages spellers, parents, teachers, and spelling bee officials to read these rules prior to any local spelling bee. The SNSB defines a local spelling bee as any bee other than its 2022 championship bee, which will be in Oklahoma City. Spellers and spellers' parents and teachers should check with their local spelling bee officials for the rules in effect for their area, as local spelling bee officials are encouraged but not required to use these rules. Spelling bee officials may include the pronouncer, judges, coordinator, and sponsor. While local spelling bee officials have the prerogative to amend rules 2 through 11, amendments, particularly any amendment to the end of the bee procedure, should be undertaken only with careful consideration of the various outcomes that may result from the amendments. The SNSB has no authority over the conduct of our local spelling bee and will not render judgment relating to the conduct of our bee. Complaints about the local bee should register their concerns with the local spelling bee officials. Decisions of the local spelling bee officials are final. These rules for the local spelling bee are not the rules in effect at the national finals. When a local spelling bee official says we use the national rules, they're probably indicating the rules for the local bee are in effect. The national finals operate under a significantly different set of rules called the contest rules of the 2022 Scripps National Spelling Bee. These rules contain provisions that are specific to unique conditions at the national finals. The implementation of many final rules at the local level is not recommended. So here we go. The eligibility. A speller qualified for the 2002 Scripps National Spelling Bee. The speller must have not won a national finals. The speller must have attended a school that was officially enrolled. The speller must not have passed the 8th grade on or before August 31st of 2021. The speller must not have repeated any grade for the purpose of extending spelling bee eligibility. If the speller has repeated any grade, the speller must notify the Scripps National Spelling Bee of the circumstances of the grade repetition by March 31st, 2022. And the Scripps National Spelling Bee will, at the sole discretion, determine the speller's eligibility on or before April 30th. The speller or the speller's parents, legal guardian, or school official acting on the speller's behalf must not have declared to another entity an academic classification higher than 8th grade for any purpose, including high school graduation. The speller must have not earned the legal equivalent of a high school diploma. The speller must not have eschewed normal school activity to study for the spelling bee. The National Spelling Bee defines normal school activity as adherence to at least 4 courses of study: language arts, spelling, Greek, vocabulary, etymology for the least 4 hours per week. The speller must not have reached his or her 15th birthday on or before August 31st. The speller must have been declared a champion, must not have been declared a champion of the Scripps National Spelling Bee before February 1st of 2022. The speller, upon qualifying for the 2022 Scripps National Spelling Bee National Finals, must submit to the Scripps National Spelling Bee a completed champion bio form, a certification of eligibility form, a signed appearance, consent, and release form, and a photo. The speller will notify of the Scripps National Spelling Bee at least 24 hours prior to the first day of the national finals. The speller must not have any first, second, or third degree relatives, nephews, half-siblings, first cousins, or great-grandparents, or current employees of the Scripps National Company. The Scripps National Spelling Bee may disqualify prior to or during competition any speller who is not in compliance with any of its eligibility requirements, and it may at any time between the conclusion of the Bee National Finals and April 30th of 2023 require any speller who is found to have not been in compliance with any of the eligibility requirements to forfeit the prize, rank, and other benefits. Format. A local spelling bee is conducted in rounds. Each speller remaining in the spelling bee at the start of a round spells one word or answers one word meaning question in each round, except in the case of a written, multiple choice, or online test. The spelling bee may be conducted orally, in writing, online, or in a manner that is a combination of 3. If, however, the spelling bee officials specify an oral format, the speller may request a written format only specified in the terms of Rule 4 with special needs. Number 3, the word list. Local spelling bee officials are responsible for selecting the word list for use in their spelling bees, are encouraged to select word lists generated by the Scripps National Spelling Bee that are dated 2022. These word lists include many words that appear in the current edition of 2 study resources, the School Spelling Bee List and Words of Champions. Also, these word lists end with a section of words that do not appear in the aforementioned study resources, and are for use near the end of a local spelling bee, if the local bee officials determine that their use in the spelling bee is warranted. All words appearing in the 2022 Scripps National Spelling Word List are entries into the Merriam-Webster's abridged official dictionary of the Scripps National Spelling Bee. The Merriam-Webster's Unabridged is the final authority and sole source for the spelling of words, the primary source used to craft the pronunciations, definitions, and language origins for the Scripps National Spelling Bee word list, and the only authority to be consulted by the spelling bee officials. Some word information appearing in the 2022 Scripps National Spelling Bee word list may have been drawn from the most recent copyrights of the Merriam-Webster's publications because the Scripps National Spelling Bee deemed the information helpful to the speller. However, the Scripps National Spelling Bee is not obliged to write or to draw supplemental material from other publications. Number 4, special needs. Local spelling bee officials will strive to provide accommodations for spellers who have physical challenges. All requests for spelling bee officials to accommodate special needs involving sight, hearing, speech, or movement should be directed to spelling bee officials well in advance of the spelling bee date. The spelling bee judges have discretionary power to amend oral and/or written spelling requirements on a case-by-case basis for spellers with diagnosed medical conditions involving sight, hearing, speech, or movement. The pronouncer's role. The pronouncer strives to pronounce words according to the dictatorial markings in the 2022 National Spelling Bee word list. In the oral rounds, homonyms, if a word has one or more homonyms, the pronouncer indicates which word is to be spelled by the defining word. Speller's requests. The pronouncer responds to the speller's request for a definition, sentence, part of speech, or language of origin, and alternate pronunciations as listed in the competition word list pronounced by the Scripps National Spelling Bee. The pronouncer does not entertain root word questions, requests for alternate definitions, or requests for slower pronunciation. The pronouncer's sense of helpfulness. The pronouncer may offer word information without the speller having requested the information. If the pronouncer senses that the information is helpful and the information is presented in the entry for the word in a 2022 National Spelling Bee word list. In oral word meaning rounds procedure, the pronouncer reads aloud the word meaning question in both options A and B, but does not indicate which is correct. Homonyms. If a word has one or more homonyms, the pronouncer indicates which word is in question by spelling the word aloud. Speller's request. The pronouncer responds to the speller's request for the question and/or answer question to be repeated. The pronouncer may also provide the spelling of the word in question. The judge's roles. The judges uphold the rules and determine whether or not words are spelled correctly or word meaning questions are answered correctly. They also render final decisions on appeals in accordance with rule number 11. They are in complete control of the competition, and their decision is final on all questions. Interactions with the speller. Because seeing the speller's lip movements may be critical in detecting misunderstandings or misspellings, the judge encouraged spellers to face them when pronouncing and spelling the word. So at that time, you'd want to remove your mask when you come to the microphone to say your words. Notice of the rules. The judges ensure that all spellers and audience members are given an opportunity to receive a complete copy of the rules prior to the start of the spelling bee. Misunderstandings. The judges participate in the exchange of information between the speller and pronouncer if they feel that clarification is needed. Also, the judges listen carefully to the speller's pronunciation of the word, and if they sense that the speller has misunderstood the word, the judges work with the speller and pronouncer until they are satisfied that reasonable attempts have been made to assist the speller in understanding the word. While the judges are responsible for attempting to detect a speller's misunderstanding, it is sometimes impossible to detect a misunderstanding until an error has been made. The judges are not responsible for the speller's misunderstanding. Pronouncer errors. The judges compare the pronouncer's pronunciation with the diacritical markings in the word list. If the judges feel the pronouncer's pronunciation does not match the pronunciation specified in the markings, the judges direct the pronouncer to correct the error as soon as it's detected. Disqualification for reasons other than error. The judges will disqualify a speller who refuses a request to start spelling or to provide an answer to a word meaning question, who does not approach the microphone when it's time to receive the word or question, who does not comply with the eligibility requirements, who or whose family engages in contact that does not promote fair, honest rivalry, courteous relations, and graceful acceptance of competition results, or who in the process of retracting a spelling bee alters the letters or sequence of letters from those first uttered, who in the process of spelling utters unintelligible or nonsense sounds, or who in the process of providing an answer in an oral meaning round provides a blend of correct and incorrect information. For example, if in answering the question, what is porridge made from, A fur or B grain, the speller provides an answer either A grain or B fur. Speller activities that do not merit disqualifications. The judges may not disqualify a speller for failing to pronounce the word either before or after spelling it, for asking a question, or for noting or failing to note the capitalizations of a word, the presence of a diacritical mark, the presence of a hyphen or other form of punctuation or spacing between words and a compound. The speller's role. In a spelling round, the speller makes an effort to face the judges and pronounce the word for the judges before spelling it and after spelling it. The speller, while facing the judge, makes an effort to utter each letter distinctly and with sufficient volume to be understood by the judges. The speller may ask the pronouncer to say the word again, define it, use it in a sentence, provide the part of speech, provide the language of origin, and/or provide an alternate pronunciation or pronunciations as listed in the pronouncer's competition word list produced by the Scripps National Spelling Bee. In an oral word meaning round, a speller may answer the item by providing the letter associated with the chosen word along with the chosen answer, or the chosen answer alone if the answer is identified by the associated letter alone. Officials should prompt the speller to provide the text of their answer. Correction of a misspelling. The pronouncer and judges will not ask the speller to correct another speller's misspelling, even in the end of the B circumstances. Errors. Upon providing an incorrect spelling of a word or an incorrect answer to a word meaning question, the speller immediately drops out of the competition except as provided in Rule 10. Rule 10, end of the B procedure. If all spellers in a round misspell or answer a word meaning question incorrectly, if none of the spellers remaining in the spelling bee at the start of a round spells a word correctly or answers a word meaning question correctly during the round, all remain in the competition and a new spelling round begins. Ties. All spellers eliminated in the same round are tied for the same place. After the champion has been determined, spelling bee officials may opt to conduct a tiebreaker of their own design if tiebreakers are necessary for awarding of prizes or the determination of qualifying spellers for the next level of competition. If only one speller in a round spells correctly or answers a word meaning question correctly. If only one speller spells correctly in a round, a new one-word spelling round begins, and the speller is given an opportunity to spell a word on the list, an anticipated championship word. If the speller succeeds in correctly spelling the anticipated championship word in this one-word round, the speller is declared the champion. So example, in round 12, there are 4 spellers. Spellers 6 and 21 misspell. Speller 30 spells correctly. Speller 42 misspells. So speller 30 is the only speller in the round to spell correctly. Speller 30 begins round 13, a one-word round, and is offered the anticipated championship word. Speller 30 correctly spells the anticipated championship word and is declared champion. Example, 2 spellers spell in round 10, speller 14 misspells, speller 25 spells correctly, speller 25 begins round 11, a one-word round, and is offered the anticipated championship word. Speller 25 correctly spells the anticipated championship word and is declared champion. Example, 2 spellers spell in round 16, speller 3 spells correctly. Speller 9 misspells. Speller 3 begins round 17, a one-word round, and it is offered the anticipated championship word. Speller 3 correctly spells the anticipated championship word and is declared champion. Very important. If a speller misspells the anticipated championship word in a one-word round, a new spelling round begins with all the spellers who participated in the previous round. These spellers spell in their original order. Example, in round 8, there are 3 spellers. Speller 12 spells correctly and spellers 23 and 37 misspell. Round 9, a one-word round begins and speller 12 is offered anticipated championship word. Speller 12 misspells the anticipated championship word. Round 10 begins and includes spellers 12, 23, and 37. The rules prescribe that the spellers 12 and 23 and 37 spell in their original order, so speller 12 gets the next word on the list, even though speller 12 misspelled the previous word on the list. Round 10 is not complete until all 3 spellers have spelled. Here's a tip. Spelling bee officials are encouraged to designate a record keeper or judge to track the progress of spellers throughout the rounds. The record keeper's information will be helpful in preventing end-of-the-bee confusion. Teachers may access a record-keeping sheet by logging in. We have those for you. Number 11, appeals. Provide that the appellant adheres to the time and manner requirements specified herein, the judges will review and appeals and render decisions on the following 5 grounds. The speller correctly spelled word but was eliminated for misspelling it, failing to say the word before or after spelling it, failing to indicate capitalization, hyphen, spaces, or diacritical marks, or incorrectly indicating capitalization, hyphen, spaces, or diacritical marks. Judges, do your records or audio or video recording indicate that the speller offered the correct letters in the correct order and never changed the order of letters? If yes, reinstate the speller even if the speller failed to say the word before or after spelling, or failed to indicate it or incorrectly indicated capitalization, hyphen, spaces, or diacritical marks. If no, deny the appeal. The speller correctly spelled a homonym of the word in question. Judges, did the pronouncer provide a definition? Refer to Rule 5. If no, reinstate the speller. If yes, deny the appeal. In an oral word meaning round, the speller correctly identified an answer matching the definition of a homonym of the word. Judges, did the pronouncer fail to spell the word? Refer to Rule 5. If yes, reinstate the speller, and no, deny the appeal. The speller correctly spelled an alternate spelling of the word listed in the Merriam-Webster unabridged, whose pronunciation is identical to the word in question, whose definition is identical to the word in question, that is clearly identified as a standard variant of the word in question. Judges, check the Merriam-Webster's unabridged dictionary. If all 3 criteria are met, reinstate the speller. If fewer than 3 criteria are met, deny the appeal. Also note that the variant spellings have temporal labels such as archaic, obsolete, stylistic labels, or most regional labels will not be accepted as correct. If a word has an alternate spelling labeled British or chiefly British and that the alternate spelling is listed on the same page as the head word, the alternate spelling will be listed in the Scripps National Spelling Bee Guides and should be accepted by the judges as correct. For example, both color and color, C-O-L-O-R and C-O-L-O-U-R, should be accepted in the correct, but tire should be accepted if a different spelling is used like tire, since the British spelling is not found under the headword entry for tire. Letter E, the officials did not adhere to Rule 10, the end of the B procedure. Judges carefully examine Rules 8 and 10. If you erred and the competition is still underway, reinstate the speller. If you erred and the competition has concluded, contact the spelling bee coordinator for the next level of spelling bee for the authorization and send both your declared champion and speller affected by the error to the next level of competition. Invalid grounds for reinstatement. The judges will not entertain appeals on the following grounds. The pronouncer allegedly mispronounced the word. The pronouncer offered mispronunciations and or word information that the speller did not request, and the unrequested information contributed to the misspelling. One or all B officials indicated to the speller that the speller was pronouncing the word correctly, but the speller's spelling indicates that the speller wasn't pronouncing it correctly. One or all B officials did not inform the speller before the spelling that the speller's pronunciation was incorrect or that the speller was misunderstanding the word, and the inaction contributed to the misspelling. The speller offered a correct spelling as indicated in a dictionary other than Merriam-Webster's unabridged. The pronouncer did not answer a root word question or provide the correct root word. The pronouncer did not honor the speller's request to slow down the pronunciation of the word, break the word's pronunciation into syllables, or provide an alternate definition or sentence. Last part. Time and manner requirements. A written appeal must be hand-delivered to the designated officials using usually the spelling bee coordinator and/or director, indicating the speller's name, the name and the contact information of the person filing the appeal. The relationship of the person filing the appeal to the speller must be a parent, guardian, teacher, or principal of the speller, and the word in question and the grounds for reinstatement. The deadline for delivering an appeal is before the speller affected would have received their next word had they stayed in the spelling bee. To minimize disruptions, however, effort should be made to deliver an appeal by the end of the round in which the speller was eliminated. When 5 or fewer spellers remain, the written appeal requirement is suspended, and an oral appeal must be made before the speller would have received their next word had they stayed in the spelling bee. While the competition is in session, individuals who have filed appeals may not directly approach the judges unless explicit permission to approach the judge has been given. The judges will contact the speller if they decide to reinstate the speller. To minimize disruption to the pace of the spelling bee and the concentration of the spellers, the judges are under no obligation to stop the spelling bee to discuss with the speller's parents, legal guardian, or teacher, or denied appeal. That's the end of the rules. Yeah. So I wish you all luck, and I'm going to turn over the remaining of the bee to Mrs. Charlotte Oates.
So are all of you asleep now? Is your butt numb from sitting there for all this time? No? Okay. Well, that's good because that's just a lot to listen to, isn't it? And Mrs. Hall did a great job of doing those rules, but we're required to do those so that everyone in the audience and you understand that they've been done. So I would like you to do something. First of all, congratulations on being selected. That means that you're an awesome speller already. So we're here to just determine who's the winner of our district, but congratulations on being here. I want you to stand up. This is going to be your last chance to stand up, so stand up. Okay, unless you're at the mic. Good. I want you to shake out your arms. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. You're not going to get a chance to get wiggly anymore. Shake out your legs. Yeah, good job. Good. Shake out your hips. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Oh, I see some really creative people up there. Good. Some of you are a little shy. That's okay. Shake your head. Loosen up your neck. Come on. All right. I want you to shake hands with the person next to you and exchange names. Both of them. You got a person on either side of you. Bump elbows if you have to. If you don't want to shake hands, it's okay. Exchange names because you could be standing next to the champion or you could be the champion. You could say, I knew them. They could say, I looked them right in the eye. I challenged them. Whatever you want to do, right? Okay. Good. Are you a little bit looser now? What else do you need to do? You got like 10 seconds. Do what you need to do before you have to sit down. Yeah, good job. Make up your own dance. We're good. Some of you are going, really? I'm ready to get over it. Okay. Okay, now are you ready to sit down? Okay, have a seat. We're going to practice moving to the mics so that when we get started on this, then there's no question about how to do it, okay? Because going through the procedures, just like you do in your classroom, is extremely important. So we're going to always start with number 1 or the lowest number that's still in the B. So if number 1 would come to the mic and number 2 would go right behind them, I want you to go to the mic that it fits your height the best. Number 2, I want you to go on deck. On deck is behind that blue tape, facing us. There you go. And I would give you a word. I'll go over that in a little bit about how that works. You're going to spell it. You're going to spell it correctly, right? Yeah. And then after you spell it correctly, you're going to go back to your seat. And then, so we're going to practice that. So now go back to your seat because you just spelled it magnificently. Move up to the microphone that fits your height. And when he does that, the next one moves up. On deck. Number 3. On deck. On deck is behind the blue line. There you go. And we're going to assume that you're going to spell correctly. What if you don't spell correctly? Do you know what you're supposed to do then?
You walk down that way?
You are so good. And do you know where you go from there?
Into one of these reserved seats?
Yes. That means y'all were paying attention. I'm proud of you. Good job. But I'm going to assume you spelled correctly. So, and be sure your thing is pulled around so we know what number you are. That's really important. There you go. And so I want you spelled correctly, so you go back to your seat. You go to the microphone that fits your height best, and then what do you do? Awesome. Good. You spelled correctly, go back. Go up. What do you do? Good. And if you don't spell correctly, what happens? You were listening, right? So you know what to do. Okay, awesome. We're going to assume you spelled correctly. So go back to your seat. Good. Now, I'm not going to do that with all 30, however many of you there are, but we're all of you paying attention so that you know where to go. Okay, because I'm not going to start the word until we have someone at the microphone and someone on deck. Because having movement take place in the middle of your spelling could be disruptive for you, so we don't want to do that. So we're going to make sure that we've got everybody all set beforehand. Any questions about that? No. Okay. When we get to the championship round, I'm going to give you directions at that time, so you don't have to remember those right now. Okay. So, all right. Here's what I need for you to understand really, really well. And all of you have been through a round at your own school, so you've probably already done this. But I'm going to say the word that I need for you to spell, and you may ask for a part of speech. You may ask for a definition. You may ask for it to be used in a sentence. You're aware of that, right? What does that do for you? That gives you a little bit more of an idea of where it comes from, how it's been used in the past, gives you a little more connection to the word, maybe to the part of speech might help you a little bit. Okay, what else does it let you do? It gives you more time, right? Because the thing that you're going to do is speed up, and you need to not speed up because you're nervous and you get a lot of adrenaline going through, and you need to slow down. By asking me for that and by taking a few deep breaths and by spelling it in your head, it gives you a chance to spell it correctly, right? All right, can y'all do that for me? Right? Okay. Don't be in a hurry. Occasionally, I will say something before I say the word. Like, this word could be confused with a similar word, and I will say the word. Okay? All right. And so if the word could be confused with a similar word, I'm going to give you the exact word. I'm going to give you the part of speech and definition before you even ask me. If it could be confused with a similar word, I'm going to give you the part of speech and definition. All right? So don't start off spelling before you get all that information. Right? Now, if I don't give you that, that means that that word's not going to be confused with any other word, so we're good. You just need to slow down, think it in your head, and then give us the spelling. You need to spell correctly. You need to spell slowly. You need to spell clearly. And you need to be in the right microphone, because if it's way above your head, we won't hear you as well. Okay? All right. Are you guys ready? Do we have a couple of champions sitting in this room? I think we have a 30-something of champions sitting in this room. So we are going to begin. Can I have number 1 to the microphone, please? Number 2 on deck. This word could be confused with a similar word. The word is botch. It is a verb. It means to make a mess of through clumsiness or lack of ability. Botch.
Botch. B-O-T-C-H. Botch.
Correct. Your word is clover.
Can you use it in a sentence?
Daria's pet bunny loved to hop around and nibble on clover.
Clover. Clover. Clover.
Correct. Number 4. Your word is munchkin. Can you take your mask off so that we can see? Or pull it down. There you go.
Can you say that again, please?
No, you need to take it off or pull it down while you're spelling so we can see your lips. Thank you. And then you can put it back on when you go sit, okay? Munchkin.
Can you use it in a sentence?
Sam refers to his little brother as the family munchkin.
Munchkin.
That is correct. Your word is cowlick.
Can you put it in a sentence?
Unless she used a lot of hair gel and coaxing, Queenie's cowlick caused her bangs to stick straight up.
C. O.
Take your time.
U. N. T. L. I. C. K.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. The word is spelled Cowlick. Thank you. This word could be confused with a similar word. The word is drizzle. It is a noun. The definition is a fine, misty rain, specifically a light rain of very small drops. Drizzle.
Drizzle. D-R-I-Z-Z-E-L. Drizzle.
I'm sorry, the word is spelled Drizzle. Thank you. 7. This word could be confused with a similar word. The word is noggin. It is a noun. It is a person's head. Noggin.
Noggin. N-I-G-I-N.
I'm sorry. The word is spelled Noggin. Thank you. This word could be confused with a similar word. Your word is frock. It is a noun. It is a dress worn by a girl and formerly by both girls and boys. Frock.
Can you use that in a sentence?
Josephine's new frock was ruined when she tripped and fell in a muddy puddle.
Frock. F-R-O-C-K.
Correct. Sorry. Can you go to this one, please? Yeah. Thank you. This word has a homonym. Your word is pamper. It is a verb. It means to treat with extreme or excessive care and attention. Pamper.
Pamper. P-A-M-P-E-R. Pamper.
That is correct. Your word is toddler.
Toddler. T-O-D-D-L-E-R. L-E-R, toddler.
I'm sorry, the word is Toddler. Thank you. Your word is potato.
Potato. P-O-T-A-T-O-E. Potato.
I'm sorry, the word is Potato. This word could be confused with a similar word. The word is silver. It is a noun. It is a white metallic element that produces sound, is very malleable, and is capable of a high degree of polish. It's used for coinage, tableware, jewelry, plate, and a great variety of articles. Silver.
Silver. S-I-L-V-E-R. Silver.
That is correct. You want to pull that down just a little bit? There you go. And pull that down. Thank you. Your word is cactus.
Cactus. C-A-T-U-S, cactus.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. It is C-A-C-T-U-S. Probably need to go over there. Your word is publish.
Publish. P-U-B-L-I-S-H. Publish.
That is correct. Your word is infirm.
Use it in a sentence.
Though he grew increasingly infirm, Richard's mind was still as sharp as a tack.
Infirm. I-N-F-I-R-M.
That is correct. This word could be confused with a similar word. The word is thistle. It is a noun. It is any of various prickly plants of a family of highly evolved herbs, shrubs, and trees that are characterized by florets arranged in dense heads that resemble single flowers and often belong to families of plants with tubular flowers. Thistle.
Thistle. T-H-I-S-S-L-E.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. It is Thistle. Thank you. This word has a homonym. The word is freight. It is a noun. It is something that is loaded for transportation, as in cargo. Freight.
Can you use it in a sentence?
Yes. Can you pull that up so we can hear you? There you go. The semi-truck was delivering its freight to a vendor in Arkansas.
Frict. F-R-I-C-T.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. It is F-R-E-I-G-H-T. Your word is domino.
Domino. D-O-M-I-N-O. Domino.
That's correct. Your word is teenagers.
Teenagers. T-E-E-N-A-G-E-R-S.
That is correct. Your word is whelp. Whelp.
Can I have it in a sentence?
Wendy spotted the tracks of a fox and what appeared to be a single whelp by the path.
Can I have a definition?
One of the young of various carnivorous mammals.
W-E-L-P.
I'm sorry, that is correct. It's W-H-E-L-P. Your word is dicey.
Can you use it in a sentence?
Eliana found the prospect of going bungee jumping a bit too dicey.
Dicey. D-I-C-E-Y.
That is correct. Your word is trivia.
Trivia. T-R-I-V-I-A.
That is correct. Your word is spiteful.
S-P-I-T-E-F-U-L.
That is correct. Your word is metadata.
Can you put it in a sentence?
Corbin, the computer expert, explained to his little brother, the musician, that his sheet music was data and the length and key signature of each song were part of the metadata.
M-E-D-A-T-A.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. It's M-E-T-A-D-A-T-A. Thank you. Your word is iota.
Can you please use it in a sentence?
Jamal said that in 60 years of marriage, his love for his wife had not diminished a single iota.
Can you please define it?
An infinitesimal amount, a very small degree.
Iota. I-O-A-T-A.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. It's I-O-T-A. Your word is gimmick.
Gimmick. G-I-M-M-I-C-K. Gimmick.
That is correct. Okay. I'm removing number one. Removing number one. We're going to go to one. Your word is listener.
Listener. L-I-S-T-E-N-E-R. Listener.
That is correct. This word has a near homonym. The word is hodgepodge. It is a noun. It is a heterogeneous mixture, often of incongruous and ill-suited elements. A mixture, a medley, hodgepodge.
Hodgepodge. H-O-D-G-E-P-O-D-G-E. Hodgepodge.
That is correct. Your word is tabulate.
Can you please define it?
To set up as data in rows and columns.
Can you use it in a sentence?
Filberto was asked to tabulate the results of the dorm assignments for first-year students.
Can you please repeat the word?
Tabulate.
Tabulate, tabulate.
That is correct. This word could be confused with a similar word. Your word is curries. It is a plural noun. It is foods seasoned with various powdered spices.
Curries, Curries, curries.
That is correct. Your word is a homonym. The word is alpha. It is an adjective. It means socially dominant, especially in a group of animals. Alpha.
Alpha. ALF. Alpha.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. It is ALPHA. Your word is flipperling.
Flippering,
Say it again. The word is flipperling.
Flipperling, FLIPPERLING.
Okay, that is correct. Your word is quantify.
Could you use the definition?
You want the definition of it?
Yes, please.
To determine, express, or measure the total amount or number of.
Quantify. C U A N T I F Y. Quantify.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. It's QUANTIFY. Thank you. Your word is oblong.
Could you repeat it?
Oblong.
Oblong, OBLONG, oblong.
That is correct. Is she your last one? Okay. Why don't you move to this one? No, it's okay. You can sit down for just a minute. Pull it down a little bit. You're like right in between, right? There you go. Okay. Your word is demolition.
Demolition, DEMOLITION, demolition.
That is correct. Okay, give yourselves a round of applause. You made it to the second round. Okay, I'm going to ask you to stay in the same seats that you're in until we get down to a smaller number. And then when we get down to a number of, say, 8 or 10, I'll move all of you up to the front. Okay? Is everybody doing all right? Okay, let me remind you once again. Now that that round is over, we're starting a new round, right? Everybody got my attention right here? You have to say the word after you spell it so that we know you're finished spelling. Say it afterwards so we know you're finished spelling, okay? Say it before you start spelling so we know you understand what we said, what I said, okay? That would be great. It's not something that was going to get you disqualified. It's just helpful to hear that you heard what I said, and then it's helpful to know that you are finished spelling, right? And you did a pretty good job. Nobody really got too fast. You can take more time even. So congratulations on making it to this round. Everybody okay? You ready to go again? Those are your parents in the audience, by the way, going, oh, thank God, nobody embarrassed me. No. Oh, my goodness, all those hours we spent spelling, they finally paid off. Because don't you know, I know they've had you in a dictionary spelling words, right? It's time for bed. No, you got to spell 3 more. But, Mom, I'm tired, but you got to spell 5 more. Right? Oh, who's guilty of that? Some of you know already. I see heads. Okay. Uh-huh. Yep. I won't ask you to point them out because I was one of those parents too, so I know. I get it. Okay, we're going to move on to the next round. So, please try to be really quiet and careful while everybody else is spelling, okay? Can I have number 1 and 2 on deck? And before we even start, let me remind you again to ask for definitions and how it's used in a sentence if you're not certain. And that's the only direction I can give you before we start, okay? All right. This word could be confused with a similar word. The word is flotus. It is a noun. And it means the First Lady of the United States, the wife of the President of the United States. Flotus.
Flotus. F-L-O-T-U-S. Flotus.
That is correct. Your word is kangaroo.
Kangaroo. K-A-N-G-A-R-O-O. Kangaroo.
That is correct. This word could be confused with a similar word. Your word is merchandise. It is a noun. It means the commodities or goods that are bought and sold in business, the wares of commerce. Merchandise.
M-E-R-C-H-A-N-D-I-S-E.
Hang on. We're discussing, because you said 2 M's at the very beginning of the word, as to whether or not you mean that to be M-M-E-R, or you were starting over, and since you had only said the first M, we're going to take that as you were starting over to spell the word correctly. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because the word is spelled M-E-R, you did the rest of the word correctly. So, and you're allowed to start over, I must tell you, but you have to say the letters in the correct order. The letters have to be in the correct order. So you repeated that. We're going to take that as that was a repeat of the first letter and let that and call that successful. Do you understand what we're saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Your word is avenue.
Can you use that in a sentence?
James and Malika strolled down the avenue, sipping coffee and doing a little window shopping.
Avenue. AVENUE.
That is correct. Your word is ornament.
Ornament. ORANMENT.
I'm sorry, that is correct. It is ORNAMENT. Thank you. Your word is Pinkerton.
Pinkerton.
No, Pinkerton.
Pinkerton. Pinkerton. Pinkerton.
I'm sorry, that is correct. The correct spelling is PIN. You said PIR when you first spelled it. Okay. Take out 118. Take out 118. Your word is whirlybird.
Can you say it again?
Whirlybird.
Whirlybird?
Say it again.
Hurlybird?
Whirly.
Whirly?
Whirly. Whirlybird.
HORLYBIRD?
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. It's WHIRLYBIRD. Thank you. Your word is emperor.
Definition, please.
The sovereign or supreme monarch of an extended territory, usually comprising a group of nations, states, or peoples.
Can you please use it in a sentence?
George VI was the last British king to be called Emperor of India.
Emperor. EMPEROR.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. It is EMPEROR. Your word is Hamlet.
Hamlet. HAMLET. Hamlet.
That is correct. Your word is fructose.
Can you use it in a sentence?
Fructose is a common ingredient in many baked goods found in stores.
Fructose. FRUITOS.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. It is FRUCTOSE. Your word is accurate.
Can you use it in a sentence?
The detective prided himself on making accurate reports of crime scenes.
Accurate. ACCURATE. Accurate.
That is correct. The following word has two correct spellings. Either one of the two spellings listed below should be accepted as correct. The word is Monopolize. Please get close to the microphone so we can hear you.
May I have a sentence, please?
Sanjay always leaves the room when his parents monopolize the conversation at gatherings.
May I have a definition?
To have or get the exclusive privilege of dealing in or the exclusive possession of, to engross the whole of. Monopolize.
Um, O N May I restart?
Monopolize.
O May I restart again? O P A L I Z E.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. It's Monopolize or Lise. Your word is marathon.
MARATHON.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. It is Marathon. Thank you. Your word is stewardship.
Stewardship. STEWARDSHIP. Stewardship.
That is correct. Your word is obsolete.
Can you say a sentence?
Sahira is working on a project that is intended to make pneumatic tires obsolete.
Obsolete. OBSALITE.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. OBSOLETE. Your word is sedentary.
Can you give me the definition?
Characterized by or requiring sitting or slight activity.
Can you say the word again?
Sedentary.
SEDINTARY.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. SEDENTARY. Thank you. Your word is pristine.
Can you please use it in a sentence?
Claude pulled a pristine white shirt out of his closet to pair with his favorite dress pants.
Pristine. PRISTENE. Pristine.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. It is PRISTINE. Thank you. Your word is misconception.
Misconception. conception, misconception.
That is correct. Yeah, thank you. That's better. Okay. Your word is windbaggery.
Windbaggery. Windbaggery.
That is correct. Your word is lexicon.
Could you use it in a sentence?
Margot's dad says that he can't understand most of the lexicon used by teenagers these days.
Lexicon. Lexicon. Lexicon.
That is correct. Thank you. Your word is pepita.
May you please use it in a sentence?
Karina tossed a pepita to the squirrel sitting patiently at her feet.
Pepita. Patea. TA.
I'm sorry. The correct spelling is Pepita. Welcome to the next round. Congratulations. Okay, so that your journey is not so long. Number 7, will you come right here? Who's the next lowest number? Come right there. Right up here. No, right there. You went from 20 to 6. 25. What is your number, dear? Oh, there you go. Awesome. All right. Do you need to take a minute to shake out something or stand up or do it? So do it. Talk to your neighbor for a minute. Relax. Y'all look awful tense up there. Should you be telling that to your parents? Do they look pretty tense out in the audience? No? They look relaxed? What? Are they draping their feet over the chairs like you do? No? Are they high-fiving you from out in the audience? I haven't turned, oh, there you go. I haven't turned around to look, but I can absolutely guarantee you that there's 10 sets of parents out there that are very proud of you. And there's other parents who are very proud of the ones who have already come before us, because all of you have done a great job. I'm going to remind you once again that you need to slow down. You need to say the word before you spell it so we can make sure that you've understood the word, and say the word after you spell it. I cannot give you the part of speech and the definition or how to use it in a sentence unless you ask me, unless it's one of the words on here that is a homonym or a similar word. I can't offer that to you. You have to ask me. Please do that. It allows you to calm down and take some time. Everybody good? All right. Are we on? Yeah. Number 1. Your word is mosquito.
Misquito.
Mosquito.
I'm sorry, the word is mosquito. Thank you. This word could be confused with a similar word. Your word is romaine. It is a noun. It is a variety of lettuce having long, spoon-shaped leaves with large midribs and columnar heads. Romaine.
Romaine. R-O-M-A-I-N. Romaine.
I'm sorry, it is spelled Romaine. Other way. Oh, gotcha. Thank you. Take it 136 and skip that one. Okay. Your word is spaniel.
S-P-A-N-I-E-L.
That is correct. Your word is repercussion.
Can you use that in a sentence?
Fenton voted to kick Raul out of the club without fear of repercussion.
Can you give me a definition?
An impact, action, or effect given or exerted in return, a reciprocal action or effect. A repercussion.
R-E-P-R-E-C-U-S-S-I-O-N.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. It is R-E-P-E-R-C-U-S-S-I-O-N. Thank you. Who's our next one? That's up on deck. There you go. Your word is vulpine.
Can you use that in a sentence, please?
John detected a certain vulpine expression on the face of his chess opponent, so he started looking for a trap.
Vulpine.
Mhm.
V-O-L-P-I-N-E. Vulpine.
I'm sorry, it is V-U-L-P-I-N-E. Thank you. This word could be confused with a similar word. Your word is wharf. Wharf. It is a noun, a structure built along or at an angle from the shore of navigable waters so that ships may lie alongside to receive and discharge cargo and passengers. Wharf.
Can you use it in a sentence?
As the freighter docked at the wharf, workers were waiting to unload its cargo.
Can you give me the definition?
A structure built along or at an angle from the shore of navigable waters so that ships may lie alongside to receive and discharge cargo and passengers. Wharf.
Wharf. W-U-R-F. Wharf.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. W-H-A-R-F. Your word is moorage.
May I have the definition, please?
The act of making fast with cables and lines or with more than one anchor.
May you repeat the word, please?
Moorage.
Moorage. M-O-R-R-I-G-E.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. It's M-O-O-R-A-G-E. Thank you. Your word is seethe.
Seethe. S-E-E-T-H. Seethe.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. It is S-E-E-T-H-E. Thank you. Your word is phonics.
Can I have the definition?
A method of teaching beginners to read and pronounce words by learning the speech sounds of letters and letter groups.
Phonics. P-H-O-N-I-X.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. It's P-H-O-N-I-C-S. Thank you. Your word is criteria.
Could you use it in a sentence?
All the entries for the short story contest were judged on the criteria of inventiveness, creativity, and smoothness of style.
Criteria. C-R-I-T-R-A.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Don't go anywhere yet. C-R-I-T-E-R-I-A. Okay, take a seat right there. Now, hang on just a second. So we are down to the last two people, which makes this next round the championship round. Okay? All right. I need to look at these. Where's Regan? Regan? In order to stay in the championship round, you must spell the next word correctly, and then we'll move on, okay? All right? All right. This word could be confused with a similar word. The word is spatula. It is a noun. A flat, thin, flexible, dull-edged implement used especially for spreading or mixing soft substances, scooping, or lifting. Spatula.
Spatula. S-P-A-C-H-U-E-L.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. It is S-P-A-T-U-L-A. Have a seat. This could be your championship word. You have to spell it correctly. If you spell it incorrectly, we start again with both of you on the final round. Right? Your word is affectionately.
A-F-F-E-C-T-I-O-N-A-T-E-L-Y.
That is correct. Congratulations. So we have a championship speller and a runner-up, and I believe. And that ends my duties as pronouncer. I want to congratulate both of you and all of you sitting out there that did such a fine job today. And congratulations to you parents. I appreciate everything that you've done to prepare them. Ms. Hall?
Thank you for that correction. So our winner is Courtney Lane from Adams Elementary. And our runner-up is Jacob Reimer from Woodland Hills. So if you wait 1 second, I'll give you your trophies. And we need everyone to stay because we have all the students who are going to get medals. And of course, we need to take pictures. So just give me 1 second.
Courtney Lane, our spelling bee champion. Congratulations. I will tell you, I've never won a spelling bee, and I wouldn't have won this one because there were a couple words that have got me today. Very impressed.
And then from Woodland Hills, we have Jacob Reimer.
Jacob? I wouldn't have come in second either. I would have never got here. Congratulations. And congratulations to all of you for being here. Great job.
And Courtney, if you want to come right up here in front, so we can get you in front.